right, so once you got the renewal order and you went into production on the second half of the season, did anything change for you in the direction? Because originally you had said this was the end.
Yes.
So once you got that renewal order, because you did get it in between productions.
Yes.
So what changed when you did much change going into these last 10?
The pace quickened. We did always have a sort of idea for season 6 in the back of our minds. There were rumblings about it, so we've been thinking about doing it 2 different ways. Planning for what could be a series finale, but also leaving things open for next season. And it actually wasn't until I sat down with Dylan O'Brien, who we have to work around his movie schedule, and we talked about what season 6 could be, that we solidified things.
So Dylan's into season 6.
Yeah. You'll see the story we've come up with, but I think it's going to make everyone pretty happy and pretty scared and terrified at the same time. So I can say Dylan O'Brien Styles does not die at the end of 5B.
All right, that's going to make a lot of people very happy. How much time is covered in these next 10?
In this next 10, it's surprisingly not a very long amount of time. It's we do deal with a pretty compressed storyline, so we're kind of like 24 in that way. I would say it's actually about 4 weeks of time passes within this whole storyline. It's mostly because it's a thriller suspense show, and things have to move fast.
Did you get to the place you wanted to be with at the end of the season on a narrative front? Did you get to where you wanted to be?
Pretty much. We're still working on it, actually. There are pages of the script still unfinished, so we're going to be shooting them at the beginning of January.
Is this whole run still going to be told in flashback through Lydia's point of view, or is time going to catch up to her?
Partially. We catch up to present time actually in episode 15, and it's really clever and really fun way of where you see just how the past and the present merge, and we start running off into the future tense finally in episode 16.
So we finally, in the trailer, we see the return of Argent.
Yes.
One, what kind of roles are you going to have in these next 10? And 2, does he still have a place? I mean, he has no family left in Beacon Hills.
Yeah.
He ended that last connection in season 4.
Right.
So what's left for him to really do? Is he still a hunter?
He's got a bigger connection now because of the enemy in this season, which has been revealed as the Beast of Gévaudan, which is the ancient French werewolf, the real story of a wolf or a gang of wolves that apparently killed almost 120 people, I think. There are varying reports of how many people it actually killed, but terrorized the French countryside in about 1770, I think. So it's a great story, and that's what brings Archie back. Family connection.
The season premiere, which I've seen, it feels like a beginning of the end a little bit, because I guess it was written to serve as a real beginning of the end. But how much is going to change? Because I mean, is this the last season where everyone's still, where the originals are still in high school? I mean, how are they growing up?
They'll still be in high school. I would say that kind of jump could take place in 6B. But the story we've come up for 6A, the story we've come up with for 6A is a continuation. It takes place in the last semester of senior year, so we do see them growing as adults then. But this season opener was different for us because we're telling one longer story. To me, it's very much a mid-season premiere. It's not as big and flashy as what we usually try to do for our first episodes.
Is 6 going to follow the same structure, being one long story? We're going to do 2 different ones again, like you did for 3.
Yeah.
Do you have a preference over which you'd like to do?
Having done the bigger story, my preference is always to do less episodes because you get more time. Doing 20 episodes in cable TV is very difficult. We're not a soap opera. Like if you look at some other types of shows, and their coverage is very standard. It's 2 shots, overs, and that's it. We try to make it cinematic. We do big crane shots, we do long dollies, we do very complicated Steadicam moves, and in order to do that, we need time. So doing 20 episodes where we try to make basically feature film film each episode. We strive, at the very least. It's difficult. I would prefer to do less episodes, but the nature of this beast is the network always wants more.
My last question for you is: would you say these next 10 do they go big physically or do they go big emotionally?
We get into some big, heavy relationship issues. Leah will face off with her mother, the Desert Wolf. Styles and Scott will rebuild their friendship. We'll see the rebuilding of this whole group of friends as Scott tries to put his pack back together, and we will see very big action scenes as well with the new creature, the Beast.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Good to see you. Thanks.